You ever thought of starting a fragrance collection? Or perhaps you've been wondering of what fragrance to buy next. Of course, the fragrances should always smell amazing and never go out of style, and sometimes maybe even get you a compliment or two. If that's the case, then this video right here is for you. This is where you can start your journey on your personal scent trail, or perhaps start your fragrance collection. I'll share some of my personal favorite fragrances in this killer fragrance collection video. The fragrances mentioned in this video are the ones I would totally buy again if I were to run out. We have quite a few to cover, so get settled in and see if you agree with me. And let me know in the comments. Of course, if you don't agree with me, also let me know. I would love to hear it. Just make sure you let me know why and what fragrances you would have in this place instead. If we have enough responses, I'll do a viewer's choice video consolidating your best ones. Now, I did not have a ranking system in place here, nor is there, any kind of specific order. I'll pick one after another from this side right here, and when we're done with talking about it, I'll place it on this side. They are truly mixed up, so we might get a cheaper one next to a more expensive one, or a niche right next to a designer. Also, as far as I know, these are all still available for purchase without too much difficulty. I might even give you some alternatives if I think the alternatives are worth our time. So are you ready? Let's go. The first one in the lineup is going to be Colonia Intensa from Aqua de Parma. This one right here was released in 2007, created by master perfumers François Demachy and Alberto Morillas, a truly incredible duo. Intensa is a gorgeous, warm, spicy citrus with a fantastic dry down. Perhaps it is a little bit on the mature side, although it is not as mature as the original Colonia. I'd say college age, university, and thereafter for this one. Colonia Intensa is a stellar professional fragrance if you are looking for a signature scent with versatility. Super professional. Love this one. It's one of my favorites from the Aqua de Parmas. As you can see, we're going to fly through these pretty quickly. We have quite a few to cover, so not too many notes and too much breakdown. This is just for you as a reference point of some stellar fragrances that you can totally start collecting with. Next in line is going to be one from Guerlain, and it is L'Homme Idéal Eau de Parfum from 2016. Honestly, this entire line is fantastic. It was a toss between this one and the Extreme from 2020. But since I have some other fragrances with a bit of spice, the Eau de Parfum is the one I would pick up again. It embodies what the entire line is about, with a smooth almond and leather note veiled in some dark cherry vanilla. Absolutely fantastic. Perfect for the slightly cooler weather, and the EDP can be worn by absolutely anyone. Do go and check out the other ones though. The L'Homme Idéal line is a truly fantastic fragrance line if you like the note of almond. The third one is going to be a Prada. Many of you will already know this one, and what can I say? It's simply put that unique and good. It is the Prada L'Homme Intense in the black bottle from 2017. This is a powdery iris with a note of leather and wood as its backbone. It is an iris fragrance that is, however, not as lipsticky as the Dior Homme Intense. It is rather a little bit more on the nostalgic side. Prada L'Homme Intense has a good performance and has been a signature scent for many, many people. And this will most likely keep going. For me, I will always have a bottle of this. It's so good. Next up is one from a line
everyone knows.
And it is going to be La Nuit de l'Homme. Of course, there are so many in this line. The line is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the first one in 2009 all the way up to the latest one from 2022. Due to the unfortunate loss of potency though, since its first launch, I go with, one of the latest ones, the Eau de Parfum or the Bleu Electric from 2021. The Bleu Electric is a little bit harder to find in the US, but it is widely and everywhere available in Europe. This YSL scent profile will always be in my collection. It's an amazing warm cardamom, soft lavender. It is one of the best fragrance profiles ever created, in my opinion. I will always have this one or one like it in my collection. Earlier we were talking about spicier fragrance. That's where the next one comes in. And it is going to be a Bulgari Man, or the Bulgari Man from 2014. Perfect if you like a warm and spicy leather with a hint of sweet tobacco doused in some rum. Man in Black is a classy and cozy kind of fragrance. Little hint for you, if you don't like the mature vibe, which goes well with a suit, then you could go with Viktor & Rolf's Spice Bomb or Spice Bomb Extreme. Very similar by Viktor & Rolf if you don't like the little bit of elegance that comes with the Bulgari Man in Black. Me personally, I like the Man in Black. Most likely due to the added class. I did try the new Parfum version of this one, released in 2024, but I decided to skip it for now, as I found it to be somewhat redundant, at least for now. And people were saying it wasn't really, it didn't really last. But this one right here, the original Man in Black, so good. Spicy is also the next one sitting right here. I have had all of the brand's fragrances at some point, and this Creed is the one I would buy without hesitation again. Of course, I'm talking about Creed's Viking from 2017. This is a true spicy gentleman in a body. Super, super versatile. I mean, you could wear this one right here in the summer or in winter, and somehow this fragrance manages to get the job done. I did skip the Cologne version, as I don't need a weaker version of this stellar, classy, somewhat green, spicy citrus from Creed.
If it is weak, she'll think you're weak.
Now I know at this point you're thinking, what about Aventus, Green Irish Tweed, or Millésime Imperial, all wonderful scents? Will they be in this list? Perhaps you will be disappointed when I tell you no, they will actually not. Simply because at this point there are a slew of clones and smell-alikes where I feel, the scent profiles of these are kind of overdone. And I do have a few so close to their profile that I have enough of this profile to last me a lifetime. So no, they're not in here. Of course, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to explore some of the masterful classics from the House of Creed. Up next is a Tom Ford so good, Versace has one for a fraction of the price that smells divine. Did you guess it yet? Yes, it is Versace's Oud Noir from 2013. What a gorgeous, beautiful fragrance. It truly never disappoints. Whether there is, real oud in here or not has sort of been, a heated discussion for some time. It doesn't really matter to me. Oud Noir is a must-have from the Versace line, in my opinion. And if you want to be, sure that you have some oud, you could always go with Tom Ford, Oud Wood, if you absolutely want to, from 2007. It's a deeper, more full-bodied experience without, the nostalgia that I think the Versace brings. Beautiful fragrance. They do smell a little bit similar, and like I said, I would go, if you want the fuller body, sort of scent profile, then go with the Oud Wood. It's gonna cost you a little bit more, but I think this Versace Oud Noir is a stellar fragrance, and I'll always have it in my collection. At this point, we are at number 8, and we are nowhere near to the half point. So we got lots more to go.
Come on, you look like you need a break.
Or save this video in your favorites, as a super reference for later. You could also hit the like button, and subscribe, as I would love to have you as part of Central. Remember, your fragrance journey begins with but one single scent. All right, our number 8 is one from Robert Graham called Fortitude. It's from 2016. This one actually is available for a decent price, and it is a fantastic sweet tobacco patchouli fragrance. It is so good. It is much better than you would think for the price in scent, projection, and longevity. Fortitude is a winner for cooler weather and will always be in my collection. Now, we already had the Oud Wood, which I said is a really good fragrance, but it just so happens that one of my favorites is a fantastic leather one called Ombre leather from 2018. Absolutely love this one. This one literally smells amazing, very different on everyone. On some it smells a little bit more floral, on some it smells a little bit more animalic, and even sweet and smoky. Ombre leather is one of the best leather fragrances that I own, with superb performance. As far as the perfume version is concerned, I would get the one that has the best price at the point of purchase because they're very similar. Everyone can wear ombre leather at any age. It is that good. Just a stellar fragrance from Tom Ford. Love this one. Fragrances are a reflection of time and space, in my opinion, in many ways. This is where the next one comes in, and it is going to be Reflection Man by Amouage from 2006. Absolutely fabulous fragrance. Reflection Man is dry, or let's say, Reflection Man is a dry floral with plenty of woods to keep it from going too floral. This makes a good all-year fragrance. Lately, there have been some newcomers to this scent profile with a similar feeling, like the Gucci Guilty Elixir, which is a stronger iteration, or Ombre de Abysses from Houbigant, which is sort of a more mature version of this iteration, or even the 2009 Darley from Parfums de Marly, which is a slight bit softer. They all share similarities to Amouage Reflection Man. I usually go for Reflection Man. It always works with its dryness. I would totally buy this one again. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. Is this your favorite one out of all of those other ones, or do you prefer one of the other ones? Let me know in the comments. Looks like we have two Diors coming up as I'm looking over here. The first Dior is Dior Parfum, Dior Homme Parfum from 2014. It's an amazing lipstick iris with a good dose of leather and oud. Absolutely beautiful. Naturally, you could go with the Intense, if you want a little bit of pear, and there's no oud and leather in that one. Or you could go with the original Homme, even from 2011 as well, has a little bit of cacao. All of these, could be in a line for repurchase. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. All of them are truly worth a second bottle, in my opinion. The other Dior that I have is going to be Dior Homme, and it is the Cologne from 2022. Fresh lemonade with a beautiful dry down consistent of a hint of musk. Absolutely beautiful. Love smelling this in the summer. This Cologne version is a perfect fragrance if you want to beat the heat with a big dose of Dior style. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me give it a spray. So good. Let me look and see if there's another Dior over here so we don't have to go back to Dior. Yep. There is another Dior. This one is a classic. It's Dior Eau Sauvage. This is a true gentleman's fragrance since it was originally created in 1966. It's a true barbershop classic. It's a stellar barbershop fragrance. It's so good that will always have a place in my collection, despite, the more mature vibe.
You never trade in a classic.
I do believe this one is 100% wearable today for anyone who wants a piece of this amazing iconic history. I will always have a bottle of this in my collection. Apple pie, anyone? For one of the best fragrances for the holidays is Hugo Boss Bottled Intense from 2016. The original bottle was my signature scent for a while in the early 2000s. And that's probably why I'm always going to have, this scent profile around. It is hard to let go, of some comforting memories of apple, and sweet plums in the original, while the Intense swaps out, the sweet plum for some cloves. Either one smells divine, cozy, and perfect for the holidays. Since we are talking about good old memories, this next one that I see right here is always going to be in my collection. It is Herrera for Men, the original. Now, you've probably heard me talk about this one. It is from the early 90s. I love this one as it reminds me of my time spent back in Germany in the day. Master perfumer Carlos Benaim is one of the perfumers behind this fresh citrus, clove, and tobacco fragrance. Unfortunately, it is but a shadow of what it used to be. I actually have multiple bottles of this one since I have to spray this one a lot to compensate for the unfortunate weakness. Sometimes love requires sacrifice.
Yes. Yes, it does.
There's one more Dior. I didn't see it earlier. Fahrenheit Le Parfum from 2014. While the original from 1988 has, a slight dated feel, the Le Parfum has all the goodness of the original with a little bit of an updated vibe. It's a stellar fragrance for the cold weather with its embracing sort of vanilla and rum notes. Absolutely gorgeous. The original is still in the background without the benzene nuance.
We're gonna need some gas, okay?
Gas. The leafy violet gives this Le Parfum, a bright, almost ozonic feel. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you don't know what to spray in the cooler days, Fahrenheit Le Parfum always works. That's why it's going to be my collection forever. Something along a similar line, warm and, fantastic. Although this one is going to be a little bit more on the pricey side. And it is Roja Dove's Creation E, or Enigma, depending on where you are. This is the Cologne version from 2019. Honestly, I never bought the Parfum version from 2013. Perhaps I'm missing out. Let me know what you think. At this point, for me, the Parfum Cologne has plenty of performance. It's sparkly, warm vanilla. Oh, it's so good. I always get a compliment when I wear this one. It's simply beautiful. Also for the cooler weather and always going to be a staple in my collection. I love the fizziness of this one. It's so good. It's not something that I would wear in the heat though, that's for sure.
Do not do it!
Number 16 is one for rainy days. It is going to be Narciso Rodriguez, For Him, the original 2007. It's a gorgeous fragrance. This one is completely different in the scent profile than anything else that you have or anything other. It's light, it's musky, it's powdery violet with some green patchouli. Like I said, it is absolutely stunning for a rainy day. I would give this one a perfect 10 for originality and uniqueness. And because of that, it's always going to be in my collection. While Narciso may remind you of wet cement in the rain, this next one will remind you of a deep, dark green forest. It is one of the best Polo fragrances ever, in my opinion. At least to me. It reminds me of the way the original 1978 used to smell in my memory. Deep, green, earthy, mossy, and woody. I'm talking about the 2021 Cologne Intense Eau de Parfum. This is a fantastic alternative if you want to get away, from all the blue, fragrances out there. However, in this one, if you are looking for that original strong pine note, then you are going to be disappointed, since this one is a little bit more like the dry down of the original. For me, this Polo green is perfect. It's a perfect memory and therefore will always be in my collection. Absolutely love the way this one smells. It reminds me of way back then. I think we're coming up on our 18th fragrance or something like that. Let's see. It is going to be a good one. It is going to be Givenchy's Reserve Privé 2022. Boy, has this one really moved up the ranks.
Like the Jeffersons, moving on up.
There's a lot of fragrances from the Givenchy line that could be in this lineup because they're all really good. However, if I'd rebuy one, it would be this one because it is a boozy iris with a chestnut note. Absolutely stunning. Reserve Privé has all the goodness of all the other gentleman ones with a boozy note. Absolutely wonderful. This one's always going to be a corner or a staple in my collection. Next up, we have Chanel, and that was really a harder choice. Since the Chanel fragrances, they're not similar like, the Gentleman Givenchy line was, for instance. For the Chanel, I could have mentioned Egoist Platinum, Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, or Edition Blanche for that matter. All of them are really stunning. For me though, the one that I wear the most and therefore will probably run out of first and consequently will have to rebuy a bottle is going to be Bleu de Chanel, and it is the Eau de Parfum version. Yes, I know, but what can I say? It's a super easy reach for me and it just works. I never mind smelling like this all day long. It doesn't matter how often I wear it. It is a clean masterpiece, super versatile, well-performing, and with the eau de parfum concentration, I get enough weight in it for the cooler days. Tell me, which one is your favorite? Which one from the Chanel lineup would you rebuy if you were to run out? Let me know in the comments below. Another one that was pretty hard to choose from is my next one. There are a few good ones and they're all sort of similar. Which one would you pick? And this one is going to be the Le Male Le Parfum 2020. I went through all of them while I was sort of, figuring out, deciding of which one I'm going to place here because I like the Le Male DNA. I always wanted in my collection. And since I was torn, between, Ultra Male and the Elixir, but for me, the Le Male Parfum is the clear winner. It is warm, it is a sweet vanilla lavender Gaultier masterpiece. Let us hope and dream we will never get too old to wear a Le Male fragrance. Next up is going to be a Hermes fragrance, and it is a Terre de Hermes, but it's not going to be the original one. I do have a 5-ounce bottle of the original one, and I won't be running out anytime soon, I don't think. I'm talking about the Eau Intense vetiver, released in 2018. This is a citrus vetiver that has a strong frankincense note, and it reminds me of the way the church used to smell when I was a kid. Now for some this may be a turnoff, I don't know, but not for me. I have fond memories of that time, and of course the Eau Intense vetiver has a patchouli and pepper note, giving it, a little bit more interest, not just the resin. It is vibrant, it is earthy, and has all-day performance. For you sweet fragrance lovers out there, just a heads up, this fragrance does not have any sweetness, but it is still a super good one that lasts all day. I will always have this vetiver in my collection. It looks like we're gonna have another Tom Ford coming up, and it is a fantastic one. Probably one of the best fragrances ever created. I will definitely buy another of this one. Perhaps even a bigger bottle if I run out of this masterpiece. It is Tobacco Vanille from 2007. This one is so good, a total compliment getter from all the sexes. Tobacco, vanilla, cacao, and dried fruit. It is like the best version of your grandma's hidden goodies drawer.
Not so loud. You want grandma to hear you?
With stellar performance. Tobacco Vanille is a must-have fragrance for any respectable collection and is a staple in mine and always will be. It is so good. Now another one that reminds me of the good old days that I absolutely love, and I will always have it as a staple in my fragrance collection, is going to be one from Parfums de Marly, and it is called Haltane. Now, I don't mean that in a dated, sort of overly mature kind of way, but more in a cozy, comfortable, and secure sort of way. Just like Tobacco Vanille, but different. Of course, they don't smell anything alike, since Haltane has, the note of oud, and it is much more of a daring, sort of rugged kind of fragrance. Perhaps it is the oud and the praline note that gives this one sort of a sweet, seductive, and daring quality. Absolutely love it. There's also Inicio's Oud for Greatness, that smells very similar to this one. It is, however, without the praline note, and it features nutmeg instead. The jury for me is 50-50 of which one is better, or for most people as well, I think. What are your thoughts on that? Would you be interested in a side-by-side comparison between this one and, Oud for Greatness? Let me know in the comments. One thing I know for sure, that I will go out and rebuy Haltane, but then again, I would also rebuy Oud for Greatness most likely if I ran out. I do feel somewhat of a kinship to, their scent profile. One fragrance that I have coming up right here, and it's my 24th fragrance, I bought 2 bottles of immediately. It was a 2023 release, and it is Passion for Men by Carolina Herrera. This was a love at first sniff for me. Now, I wouldn't wear this all the time, but I do love the way it smells. Yes, I do like a little bit of powder, especially on the cozy days, and Passion has plenty of it with the iris, and violet notes. And it has some resins in there as well, and a beautiful bourbon vanilla. It does seem, a little bit feminine, but it isn't too much. There's some wood notes in its base. This one is one of my favorite releases in the last few years. Passion was created by fantastic perfumers, Antoine Maisondieu and Christophe Renaud. I just love this one, and they did a fabulous job. And therefore, it will always be in my collection. Now, do you have more juice left? Pun intended. Let's do a couple more, what do you say? For good measure, my grandma used to add. Just so happens that the next one is also a bit of a powdery one. Initio's Musk Therapy from 2021. Such a good fragrance. This is a fragrance I could literally wear every day. It is almost like a beautiful skin fragrance, even though it has more projection. But more like the scent itself. It is not soapy. Instead of is clean, slightly floral with some soft musk. It has, a therapeutic quality almost. What does it remind me of? It kind of reminds me of when you first relax after a day of skiing. It is sort of clean and soft citrus, cozy and relaxing, slightly rejuvenating and warm. This is one of my favorites from the Initio line, and I will always have a bottle of this in my collection. My 26th fragrance is one that I will run out and repurchase without a doubt.
You're running about 10 paces ahead.
It should be a staple in anyone's collection. It is the 2015 release from Xerjoff, and it is an amazing masterpiece of citrus, lavender, honey-doused tobacco, veiled in vanilla and a soft air of jasmine. Absolutely gorgeous. Naxos is a stellar performer in longevity and projection, and it is just to die for. It is a perfect fragrance to end this marathon of fragrances that make fantastic staples in anyone's collection. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Centrail. I'd love to have you on board. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.